every single time. And we do the same thing every week. Man, they get it. They get it. You know, when I go in there, it's story time. What do we do? They go, first thing. You know, that's the first thing they do is stick their hands in the air, and they know. And they get in there and put on their listening ears. We're working in those kind of things to be consistent throughout the whole thing. Yes.
And is it possible, like I've never done listening ears for mom, years. So is it possible, like since we have the video now, is it possible to do this, for you to go through a lesson and say, okay, this is what
I know, I wanted to do that today. We didn't have time.
So then, it's not that you won't do that, it's just you don't think about it.
Right.
And then you can refresh your mind too. Okay,
right.
Gosh, this is how, so we can do it more.
Yeah, that would be good. Maybe I could talk to Pastor Deb to come in and videotape me doing a lesson.
Yeah, just doing a lesson with the kids. Like when it's your weekend time, just to videotape you and then we can
right. Right.
And try to be consistent with the things you want us to do. Okay, this is how we need to do this.
Right. Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Those are basically, it helps encourage listening. It helps encourage their hands. During snack time, they have to be finished with our snack and ours. So the 2-year-old may look a little different. I hope to get to the 2-year-olds. I want to see what's going on. I want to see the abilities that they have right now. We've got some of them moving over to us this next month. So we've got some of that in here. But the biggest thing is that if we have order in here to some degree, you're not going to have the same order as here. Then when they transition to the next room, it's not chaos, and they're not freaked out because they know how to sit now for, a couple minutes at a time, 3 minutes at a time. They know to line up to go to the potty break or whatever it is. They're going to learn our order, but it's not going to be such a shock to them because they've had some order here, and the transition will be easier for them there.
And then that goes on up through
to
little kids of
faith
and to kids of faith.
That's right.
And even on to youth group.
That's right. Okay, leaving the room, we talked about that. We have ropes in the spring. Grab a hold of the ropes, go out. We have to tell the security people, always take that walkie-talkie with you, always. And I always tell Amber, whoever's on, where we're going and what we're doing. We're going to talk about it sharing. We go and ask a child. We take a child by the hand. Instead of grabbing, we say, I have turn, and your 2-year-olds, it may be turn. You may get one word out. That's fine. Just say the same word over and over. Say, turn, please. So then you say, yes, and then they give it to them. Okay, in the other nursery, they do not ever give a directive without that child saying yes. They may not know your name. I say, yes, teacher. I'm sometimes Mrs. French Fry. Okay, so that's how they know me sometimes. And if it's yes, Miss French Fry, then I'm okay. If it's yes, teacher, I'm okay. But when you give a directive, you go to that child, you get on their level, and you tell them what you want. And they need to respond yes to you. They know they heard. They cannot ignore you. They cannot say, I didn't hear you, and not do it. Because they've already given a verbal response. That is something that I would like to see consistency throughout all the teachers, for sure. Let's talk about a little bit. Directing a child to another activity or toy. We just talked about that in discipline. If you see a potential sharing problem already or aggression issue coming up, walk over. Sometimes just standing there without intervening can take care of it. 2-year-olds, you're going to intervene. On the 3-year-olds, we're really working on the cooperative play and sharing. Sometimes just you're present. You don't have to go in and go, what are you doing? You're not sharing. Hey, just stand there and see what takes place. Sometimes your presence will deal with it right then. And they'll walk away or whatever it is. The other thing is make sure you are down on their level when you give a directive. Make sure you look them in the eye. Make sure they're looking at you. Sometimes you even have to go, I need your eyes. Give me your eyes, please. Please give me your eyes. If you do have to do timeout, you need to not say a word. Take the child, put them in the timeout chair, and then explain to them why they're there. And then leave them for 1 minute for as old as they are. Go back to them again. Tell them, this is what you did. What did you need to do? You need to go tell Johnny you're sorry. So take him by the hand, go over to Johnny and say, sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. I forgive you part. We have to do that at our house in the nursery. I'm not going to worry about that. If the child responds that way, that's fine. If they don't, at least the other person has admitted, the child has admitted what they did. Okay. If for some reason the child will not calm down, will not stay in a chair, you need to go sit and just hold the child. Okay. And explain why you're holding them. You're not holding them because you love them right now. You hold them because I'm disappointed in you. You did not listen to Mrs. Fry. You need to listen to Mrs. Fry. I want to, so-and-so's not going to be your friend if you hit him, if you're whatever. Explain the situation. Yes,
At what point do you call the parent? Okay. Becky and I had a situation like that about a month ago, and we ended up calling the grandmother, and it actually went really well because the child was just being defiant and would not
And when it disrupts the rest of your class, and
Yeah.
you've taken one, and they're not responding to the discipline that you're giving, then you need to intervene and call parent.
And that kind of leads into my question about the number that
The
we
last
write
three
down.
digits.
The last three. Okay, you answered my question. What we dial in if we have to call the,
Right,
you know,
right.
the
Yeah, the
Lincoln
last
line.
three digits of the number.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it needs to be explained.
And that, yeah, to tell the
Definitely.
parents when they come in, if we need you.
The coordinator's
three
the one
digits.
Who goes and who
Does the
gets the number.
Right,
Okay.
so you call the coordinator and they do the, so it doesn't take you
Gotcha.
out of the classroom.
Well, I see. Even as a parent, I assumed that it was the last three to look for if they were paging me for my child
Right,
when I'm in service, but just to tell the parents that come in.
Yeah.
right, right.
And
In
then-
case
we
we
will
need
get
you,
if
we're
to.
gonna flash
Right.
this number up.
They will only do that for the nursery kids. So
Right.
if you have kids in the nursery and in Little Kids of Faith or whatever, if there was an issue with Mimi and they would actually come, a security person would come and get you. If there was an issue with Nico, then there would be a flash
number.
line.
That's right.
Gotcha,
It's only
okay.
for nursery use. Yeah.
Well, maybe we don't explain that to the new people very good. I don't know.
Yeah, we should go over the procedures.
Well, the tags,
Time
the
we have a
reason
visitor.
when Devin got the tags, he started with number 1, and he had to because they're split amongst different rooms. He had to make sure that there would never be a duplicate number, and so I think he said he went through like 2,000, and so we're actually going to be back to 3-digit
Single
numbers
Yeah,
before the end of this year. And so the thing in the sanctuary is only 3 digits long, but the likelihood of having the same last 3 digits is probably not going to happen. But we just needed to make sure we didn't have 2 kids that were both. It's one thing if you have a tag that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have 2, 3, 4 also as a number. You know.
right.
If they come to check out, that's different enough. The likelihood of that actually happening on the same Sunday is not.
But
Right.
that is a good reminder, workers, when we're in there to be like, oh, and by the way, if you would have any problems with your child or need you to come back, we would
There will be
flash
a-
the last
yeah.
3 digits of your number in the
I usually tell
sanctuary.
visitors that, but
Yeah.
we do need it.
That'll make them more likely to hold on to it.
Oh, that's true.
Right. Right. But if we emphasize they have to have that to pick up your child too, they're gonna think, okay, I gotta put this somewhere I need to know, somewhere I need to.
We don't want to have a
have
visitor
it.
area in it, right? They don't go to another area, they just come straight to class.
They just come straight to our
So
classroom.
they, the only instruction they get is what we give them.
Right,
That's all
right,
they know, and the
right.
only confidence or whatever they have is from us, and what
Right.
we tell them.
right. We're the ones that's responsible for giving them that information.
Right, we give them that